Hey, well, good afternoon to you. It is noontime on a, guess what? Friday, baby. Thank God it's Friday. Boy, I remember my dad used to wake up every Friday, put on Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, talk about, thank God it's Friday. Living for the weekend, baby. Hey, I want to get us started with a little Wake Up Everybody. Y'all know that's my theme song. I love me some Wake Up Everybody. That's right. Come on. Yeah. We got to go get it, y'all. Let me tell you. We got a shot. We got a chance. We got to go get it. This life we live will soon be past. Only what we do for Christ will last. I've got some things, some important information I need to share with you today that you need to know what's going on, what's happening. So come on, while you're on your lunch break, come on, tag in, come on, jump in with me, invite some people, let some people know. Come on, let me see some stars, some thumbs. Let me see you tonight, because I'm sitting here tonight with this afternoon with the next state auditor of the state of Mississippi. Hey, I'm telling y'all, we on to something. Something's going on, and it's time for us to come together as a people. It's time for us to rise up. It's time for us to do this thing together. It's time we got to stop playing. So we got some things we want to share, some news that's very important, some critical issues that we need to talk about, y'all. But we got to do it. We got to stand up. We got to make it happen. So, hey, let's get ready. I'm going to give you a moment, let you listen to a little bit of that, and then we're going to jump in, and we're ready to go. Come on, get ready. Invite somebody. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Geraldine May. How you doing? God bless you. Peace. I love you. Hey, y'all, listen. We are here today with The Truth with DKP. And listen, we have some information, some news that you can use, some things that are so important, so critical for where we're going, what we're doing. Because let me tell you, we're in a fight, and I'm telling you, we're going to be victorious. We got to keep on pressing. So, as you know, as I promised to you when I began this about a year ago, I started this about a year ago after the death of my son's best friend, Jalen Lewis. He was killed at the hands of the police. A lot of you might not understand this, but you know, black young men are killed at 3 times the rate of white young men by the police, all right? So it's things like that. But that woke something up inside of me. And it really brought me back to a real awareness about what we're facing and what we're going through and what we're dealing with. But guess what? I'm not one just talking about problems. I'm one that's talking about solutions. There's some things that we must do, all right? So let's start right here. Let's start right here with what's happening in Hinds County. Many of you might not know, but Hinds County, the system has been hacked. The system was hacked, ransomware, and they have basically shut down the entire system in Hinds County. The problem with that is multifaceted. People cannot buy tags, right? People cannot close on property purchases. I mean, it is just absolutely devastating. It is a horrific situation, and they're working on it. Last word we got was that they would be coming back and the system would be back up and running, and they say it's coming in a few days, but it's not here yet, and we're working on that right now, trying to get that ready to go. I got this guy in the back of my shot. I don't know why he moved around on my shot. I don't know what he got going. Let me push his chair over here out of the way. He running for state auditor. He don't run The Truth. Y'all better talk to him for me. So I want to thank my assistant over here, Corey Pickett. She's working with me. She's been done on the spot. Hey, T, where you at, T? He working. T over there in his office working. But let me tell you something. Here are some things we got to deal with, all right? Number one, we have not heard enough regarding this issue with what's happening in Hinds County. We have not heard enough. They're not talking about it. And here we are facing this crisis that is costing taxpayers money. It is costing realtors money. People are getting stopped with tags and because we can't purchase tags, they can't do anything. The court system is down. I mean, it's just absolutely a devastating situation that we must get a handle on. So we're calling on our board of supervisors. We're calling on our elected officials and those that are in place to please. We need to know what's happening. When is this going to get fixed? What's going to take place to make sure that the taxpayers of Hinds County, myself included, are able to continue to do business and that our personal information is not being compromised, all right? These are important issues, okay? Important issues we got to deal with. Secondly, we know that our government in the state of Mississippi, we know that they have completely gone off the rails, and hospitals are closing at an alarming rate. People do not have access to adequate health care, and they're playing politics, right? They're playing politics with the well-being of our people, right? And it's important that you hear this, and I've got to tell you this, listen to me. The media does not tell you everything. They're not telling you everything. If you can remember, the same thing I told you when we talked about the situation going on at the time with policing. Well, they were not telling us everything, right? And the media is picking and choosing the stories that they want to tell. But let me explain something to you. My show is committed to grassroots work, and I'm working not from the top down, but from the bottom up. I want you to understand something. We got to work the plan, okay? And let me tell you something. You need to understand this right now. I believe every person is redeemable. I believe every situation is redeemable, but you cannot have peace without dealing with truth. And sometimes, in order to get to the peaceful path, it takes conflict. It takes addressing situation. People, we must rise, and we do that as a people. You know, there are some things that are happening, and one of the things I told you that we're going to be focusing on is voting. And let me explain something to you. Your vote matters. Your vote matters. I mean, you could take a case just happened in Rankin County where there was a tie on the votes. And when they came in and brought in the affidavits and all those votes and the absentee votes, it turned out one candidate won by one vote, okay? So your vote matters. It is not too late for you to register to vote. You got to vote. 2, I'm telling you, a lot of people think because they've been justice impacted that they cannot vote. But every felony does not exclude you from being able to vote. So we need every person involved in the voting process. Powerful people are counting on you not voting. Let me tell you something. They are counting on you not voting. They don't want you to vote. They want you to keep saying, oh, it don't matter what I vote. Nothing's going to change in a way. They are counting on that happening, okay? And we must rise together and understand if we do not get to the table voting, I'm telling you, we've got problems. It's important. Let her know I'm online. So it's important that we participate. It's important that we're involved in this process and we work together, all right? So in the state of Mississippi, let me tell you what we know. What we know and what we found out about the state of Mississippi, there's some things that we know. And if you will catch this, it's important. We must vote, but guess what? There are some counties that if we attack these counties, and if Warren County, Hinds County, DeSoto County, Leflore County, Madison County, Rankin County, Harris County, the coastal area, Gulfport, Biloxi, Lafayette County, Copiah, Tupelo, all those areas, we have to show up in numbers everywhere. Why? Because your vote matters and your vote counts. Your vote matters and your vote counts. And we need every citizen getting ready to go to the polls. And if you have children that are of age, you need to make sure that they are prepared and ready and know who to vote for and what is best for us, okay? It is critically important that we rise up in record numbers and get to the polls. Listen, we can do this. We must do it. And let's understand something. We don't have time for infighting right now. I want to say this to the Democratic Party. I want to say this to Mr. Irving, who I respect, all people. Listen, this is not the time for infighting. We got to rise together. People got to work together. Your rights are being taken away day by day. They're taking our rights away. But guess what? We got a victory. Do y'all know about the victory? The victory that, you remember the thing we were fighting? That they ruled that appointing the judges is unconstitutional. It's unconstitutional. We got to celebrate that, right? We got to celebrate that. We got to celebrate that and understand it's important that we celebrate it and we stay the course. We got to stay the course, y'all. We must stay the course. It's critically important that we stay the course, all right? Critically important. We got to do it. So listen, got a few technical things here, let's get this right. Let me make a switch over here. We got to pull together, y'all. We got to fight together. We got to work together. We cannot afford to miss this. We can't afford to miss this opportunity that we have as a people, all right? So everybody, listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully. We got to do this, all right? We got to do it, and we got to do it together, all right? All right, so I got a special guest today. I'm excited about my special guest today. I got a special guest with me today, and I'm telling you, we are on to something. And let me tell you something, y'all. This is a critically important election, and this is an important position that we've got to deal with. And I'm telling you, we need everybody understanding. We have the Mr. Larry Bradford. We have Mr. Larry Bradford with us today, preparing and ready to talk to us, and we're going to talk to Mr. Larry Bradford. And I want you to understand, we've got to educate, we got to make sure we understand, we got to understand what's going on, understand what's happening, and let's do this together. So I have Mr. Larry Bradford. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, that we could actually elect the first statewide office, right? And the first statewide office into this state, right? It's important. The first statewide office, and we want to elect Mr. Larry Bradford, all right? All right, here we go. Okay? So it's important. We can do it together. We can make it happen. Want to turn around? Flip the screen. All right, so we're on, and we're ready. We're talking to you. We're in there. We're gonna make it happen, Mr. Larry Bradford. Listen, Mr. Bradford, I'm glad that you come in and joined us on the show today. We're excited about that. We're thankful for you. We're thankful because we've been friends for 20 years, right?
Yes, sir.
You call me your pastor, right?
Yes, sir.
You call me your pastor. It's important that you understand this.
Yes, sir.
Right? That as we work this out, man, I know what you've given up. I know the business you're in. I know the things you've done. And you were preparing to run for the House, and you were asked by the committee to run the state honor. And man, you are more than qualified for it. I'm excited to be on the team with you. And man, we just want to hear from you today. Let's talk about it.
Well, thank you for having me. It's quite an honor and a privilege to be here. We definitely have a huge task ahead of us. This by far, Dr. Pickett, is the biggest challenge I've ever faced.
Yeah.
With just having to deal with the sacrifices. And anytime you're dealing with something from a sacrificial place, then something or someone is always being left out.
Yeah.
And sacrifice has everything to do with love. You know, even from a biblical standpoint, you know, it talks about we deal with the sacrifice that our Lord and Savior made,
yeah,
who's hanging on the cross.
Right.
And so then anything that's sacrificial has to be tied and fueled by love.
Absolutely.
And so there's a love for people.
Yeah.
There's a love for the quality of life. And even as a young man growing up, I've always been one that would always go for the underdog.
Yeah.
If I didn't even have to know the person, but if the person was being bullied by somebody, I would get off the school bus and jump in the fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because of a bully bullying somebody.
Yeah.
And right now, the taxpayers of Mississippi, we're being bullied.
We're being bullied. Absolutely right, man. Absolutely right. Well, you know, I know you're running against Chad White, and one of the latest things that blows me was a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of understanding. You know how to do this business. It is what you've been doing for over 20 plus years. Just give the people just a little bit of your background in the area of finance.
Well, I've been in banking for 23 plus years. Educated there in Arkansas. Went to community college there, and then later, I actually came up in my opinion, a very appreciative way. Once I got hired at First Financial, at the bank there, started out as a loan officer.
Right.
And here's the crazy thing about it: we actually won a basketball tournament and got a chance to play the NBA players when Hardaway was playing for the Magics. And I met the president of the bank at the game, and I started playing for the church league, and he actually gave me a job at the bank as a loan officer.
Wow.
And that's how I came up. I got it out the mud.
Yeah, you got it out the mud.
We got it out the
Well,
mud.
well, look, man, let's talk about this position, because a lot of people don't understand what the state auditor, and one of the things we want to make sure, what it is not, right? You know, because I've been watching and checking out the news, and our current state auditor, he's jumped in now. He wants to make decisions about curriculum. He wants to talk about what majors are worth being paid for. And it's like, this guy has just completely gone off the rails, right? He's talking about what schools should be doing when taxpayer dollars has been stolen at a level in the state of Mississippi, the poorest state. But he has time to deal with what curriculum that has been approved and accredited by professionals in that area. Man, talk to me about that. I'm missing something.
Well, again, I believe that Mississippians, that we're being bullied. I remember my grandmother would make these homemade biscuits every morning. That's probably for your time. She make these homemade biscuits, and she would put flour in this shifter, and she would shake it out to get all the lumps out of the flour. And the flour wouldn't fall out at one time. It would come out slowly until it was empty. I believe that we're being slowly sifted as Mississippians here, and before we know it, there won't be anything left for us to hold on to, to embrace, and to say that we have an ownership or a stake in, if we don't act now. Every term, we always say get out and vote is the most important vote or the most important election. And people normally focus on the primary, if there's a runoff, those early elections, because those are local elections that affect, things that happen on a local level. But we have to understand that the local level actually feeds into the state. A municipality, the county, the state level, then there's a federal level. We have to make sure that when we're lifting not from the top up, because that's pulling up. We've got to lift from the bottom up. If we lift from the bottom up, we can all rise together. There's an administration that refuses to lift from the bottom up. This administration that's in office right now, they seek to suppress us, oppress us, and keep us so distracted and keep us so misinformed or ill-informed that we don't know the direction or the course to take. But that day, that time is over.
Absolutely, man. And let me encourage you. Listen, I need everybody right now to share this. You need to share this. One of the things that we're missing is our people don't understand. We're not educated. So one of the purposes of my show and my work is to educate. I'm an educator, right? Because I want people to understand that we must understand that this state auditor's position is critical. And we need our people to understand that these positions and this that we are planning to have you in this position, it opens up access across the board. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, let me expand on hospitalization, because this part is kind of personal. I have my cousin who's my drummer. Some of you guys may know him. Call him Bale. He was hospitalized, Dr. Pickett. And I did not realize that university or our hospitals have certain rooms that are Medicaid rooms.
Yeah.
And so when he comes out of ICU and he's discharged home with tubes hanging out of him, because he couldn't go back to a regular room because there was no Medicaid rooms available. There were rooms in a hospital available. So he's at home fighting infection now, and we're praying that God gives him the grace to not die.
It's serious. And what people are not understanding that across this state. But I want people to understand. I want y'all to hear this. I want y'all to listen to me very carefully. That this whole idea and this thing of coming up with talking about a state hospital. Do you know how black people have been treated in this state at state-run hospitals? Do you know the way that women delivering babies? My wife was born and birthed in the state hospital. Do you understand how mothers were treated? I mean, it's just another ploy by this administration. I mean, when you look at it, it's been a systematic thing that they're doing across this country.
It is.
You know, if you look at Florida and Texas and all those places, they want to remove us completely from the process.
Exactly.
And brother, we must band together to make that happen. We got to change this narrative. And here's what a lot of people don't know. If we will come out and vote in number, it's a game changer.
See, and that's one of the things that the people, and as I was getting back, just kind of had a moment. But he's been discharged, and because there was no Medicaid rooms available, and I'm like, why would they say? So we thought he was on hospice or something. We didn't know what was wrong. And so, but the fact of the matter, there was no more rooms available. And so then one of the things as the state auditor, we will look at the economic impact of us not expanding Medicaid versus the economic impact of us expanding Medicaid. And that's easy math. A lot of people have been misinformed. For every $1 that we spend, Medicaid gives us back $9. And this is the Biden administration doing this. And so if they're giving us back $9 for every $1 that we spend, what we've just done is that in order to bring what we need here to Mississippi, we've just created, not only have we created economic growth and we're able to build communities, restore hospitals, we're able to actually employ more individuals, which makes unemployment rate goes down at that point in time. Nobody is having to pull from TANF, which is temporary assistance of needed family, because they're all working. And so, that's a win-win situation for everybody. So we're talking about creating having $1 billion impact. This is billions, but billions of dollars impact on our economy just by doing this. As a state auditor, I will look at the economic impact and make sure that the legislators, make sure that the stakeholders have that information so we're able to make the right decisions and move our communities forward.
Amen. Amen. Well, look, man, I'm telling you, I'm excited about your candidacy. I'm excited about what we're doing. And I want to make sure that people don't be distracted. Vote for Larry Bradford and don't be distracted.
That's right. Listen, there's a lot of things going on, a lot of smoke and mirrors, we've got to stay focused. We're about 47, 46 days out from an election. This election right here will determine if we actually move this state forward or if we go backwards. We cannot afford to have history repeated. The only way history can be repeated if we leave the individuals who caused this mess in office in the first place. We've got to get them out. Listen, you don't have to live in Mississippi at all, but understand that what happens here affects what happens across this nation. You've got to understand that if we win the fight here, we can win the fight anywhere. And that's what we have to do. We have to stop these belief systems, our county lines, our state lines. We cannot allow these borders to continually separate us. We've got to unite. We've got to come together. We've got to leverage. We've got to mobilize like never, ever before. And we have got to take our rightful place and our position back as taxpaying citizens that have a voice and have a genuine concern about what happens with our education, our hospitalization. We must be accountable from an ethics standpoint. That's what I'm running my campaign on, ethics. We've got to be accountable. I'm running my campaign on accountability. We must be accountable. We just can't count the taxpayers' money. We've got to make the taxpayer money count by making sure that it's distributed in the right way, that we're funding the right things, that we're underwriting our small businesses, that those contracts are being distributed in a manner that's right as it relates to across the board, making sure that we all share, that we all have a seat at the table. And we've got to make sure that we are accessible. This incumbent, he's not been accessible at all. He's not been accessible. He's been hiding behind pointing fingers. But as your next state auditor, I will have accessibility. One of the things I want to do, Dr. Pickett, is have a 24-hour hotline where people can call in all the time and have someone to man that phone, because we want to make sure that every need, everything that we can touch is being addressed. So we'll have that line open. We'll check the validity of it. We'll run it through and we will address it personally ourselves. We'll have a team that will do that, a technical support team, not just will give you a bunch of answers, because I served as mayor and they'll give you a bunch of answers and you don't know who's right by the time they finish giving you, whatever they're going to tell you. But we're coming in because it needs to be fixed. It's got to be fixed from the root.
Well, I tell you what, and let me tell you, if there was ever a time where accountability is important, I mean, I don't think people understand. I appreciate the fact that you're running a very professional and clean campaign, and we're seeing a lot of attacks going on everywhere. But I want to clarify what an attack is. Telling the truth is not an attack.
No, sir.
Telling the truth is not an attack. Mm-hmm. Under the current state auditor's watch, the state of Mississippi was raked over the coals, money stolen, money everywhere, and we know that there had to be some people orchestrating that. There were text messages between him and I think Brett Favre's brother or something. I don't know who's guilty. Mm-hmm. I'm not here determining who's guilty, but what I am saying is we gotta have accountability. We have to deal with. And what really bothered me was, how can someone who was a part of the biggest scandal have time now to talk about what majors people ought to have, right? I mean, y'all listen to me. There are things he can't say, I can say, right? It's a deflection. What they want you to do is they want you to understand that they don't want you to know the information. They don't want to tell you the truth. And they want to deflect off other issues. The same way that office has deliberately attacked small town people, attacked them, went after them, but has not gone after the folk that have stole millions of dollars. It's amazing to me, right? So I'm so looking forward to the change.
Dr. Pickett, Dr. Nero, we've been combing through the financials that of the previous budgets. I want to go on record and say that the 98 million that's missing is only a tip of the iceberg. There are millions and millions of missing. When you follow that paper trail accurately, there are millions of dollars that are missing, that are unaccounted for, that those who have been in office over the past 12 to 16 years, what has transpired, they have made what should have went to families who were between jobs, who were having issues as it relates to employment from a temporary assistance standpoint, that they have made this money that should have went to those people that was given by the federal government, they have made it out of a slush fund. They have made it out of a slush fund. Who in the world pays their personal trainer, their food prep guy? Who pays them $1.3 million out of welfare money? They've made it out of a slush fund. $800,000 goes to a book club for his wife. This money is for temporary assistance of needed families. And the thing about it, these individuals, they're already millionaires. Why are you messing with money that are supposed to go and underwrite people who are poor? We're in the poorest state in the country, and you would take from the poorest state in the country. An individual like that cannot be trusted. An individual who goes along with individuals who are doing it knowingly and won't say anything cannot be trusted. If I'm a part of an administration and this is going on, and for me to not say anything about it as the taxpayers' watchdog, the watchdog has a responsibility. When something is wrong, when something is irregular, we are supposed to bark. We're supposed to make the noise. We're supposed to send out the alarm to let everyone know that this is not right, it's wrong. Bring it to the public. He's not done that. He's been silent. Well, I believe the watchdog has now become a lapdog that's being petted and rubbed by those who are higher up, because he's a career ambitious politician that we have to remove from this office, because he is not good for the state, the taxpayers, and the citizens of Mississippi. For you to come and attack universities and education, saying that sociology and urban studies and African American studies, individuals don't deserve to know their history. They don't deserve to know their origin, from whence they came. Now, no one said anything about the American history that we've had to learn growing up. And all that's fine, we needed to know. We, from a cultural standpoint, we need to be diverse. We need to understand everybody's ethnicity, ethnic background. We need to be able to understand it from a cultural standpoint. That helps us to relate to each other. That helps us to know your pain, your struggle, where you come from, and it helps us to build bridges. It helps us to move forward. And you want to cut that off and saying it's a waste of the taxpayers' money.
But the thing about it is not even something that he should even be talking about, right? And what it is a further attempt to distract people from the real issue. And this loss of money, this big scandal, that's not the first time, right? And when he first came out with it, we thought, oh man, he's hitting at everybody, until he pulled back. And so let's understand something. And I want you guys to understand this. We have an opportunity to change the very direction of our state, of our people. And whether or not, if you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever race you are, what I'm saying to you is that we have an opportunity to elect a man that will have ethics, accountability, accessibility, and transparency. And that's something in this state we have not had. So I'm saying to you, vote for Larry Bradford. Because you know why? He's for all the people. He's my type of leader. So Larry, we thank you so much for being with us, joining with us, and you know, we just look forward to keep on pressing. And if you want to help the Bradford campaign, we need help. We need help. We need assistance. We need volunteers. We need finances. We need surrogates. We need people to get signs out. We need people holding signs, passing out push cards. We need your help. We have an opportunity to turn some things around. What I want you to do, share this with as many people as you can. Share it, share it, share it. I'm asking everybody, share this with at least 10, 15 people. Get it out. Share it on purpose. And I'm telling you, we're going to help bring about a change. All right. So, hey, we thank you, Brother Bradford, for being here. Yes. Listen, I want to close up with this. You know, tonight, and if you're in Jackson metro area, it's Lanier is celebrating, 833 is celebrating homecoming. Homecoming, 833, they getting ready for it. Hey, let's go celebrate with Lanier and their homecoming. Also, Jackson State plays Bethune-Cookman on tomorrow. Hey, we need to get out and support our team. Let them know that, you know, Jackson, Mississippi, Jackson State University is not about one person. It's not about one coach. It's about all the people, right? It's about us getting together. Let's have a good time. Also, Alcorn State University has a game tomorrow as well. Alcorn, who they playing tomorrow? Who them Braves playing? They playing somebody tomorrow. I can't remember who the Braves are playing, but they got a big game tomorrow. We need to get out there. Prairie View A&M. So listen, let's get out, y'all. Let's support our people. Let's get out here. Let's support our community. Don't forget to vote for Larry Bradford. But let me tell you what, we got to do this. We got to wake up, everybody. Come on. Hey, we can do it. There's nothing we can't do together.
Yes,
nothing.
Sir.
Nothing we can't do.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Thank
hey,
you.
Share. Love y'all. God bless you. Peace. Happiness. Joy.